Hey, Dan Tinquist here, your host at the Confidad Podcast. So glad that you chose to join us today. To begin this episode like we do every single episode with our fatherhood mindset, say it out loud with me with confidence. I'm the only one who can fulfill the father role I have, so I choose to do it well. I get to show up well for my kids. Imperfection is reality. Ownership is a choice. Today is brand new, and so is tomorrow. I am wholly loved, so I will love wholly. Today in our equipping section, I want to ask you a hard question. You're probably aware of people who have talked about life insurance, right? They'll ask you a question like, if you were to die today, would your family be taken care of? And the answer is either yes or no. And then the taken care ofness is answered with a financial tool, right? So the question that I have for you is, let's say that tomorrow you didn't die, but you got the death benefit handed to you, actually handed from you to your kids. So you're still alive, but the death benefit has been realized and your kids are now owning as much as the life insurance policy or policies that you have set up for them. So for most people, it's at least like, $500,000, $1 million, and then way up from there. So here's the question. Is the relationship that you have with your kids today strong enough to carry the weight of your family legacy? Like, is the bridge that you've built between you and your kids strong enough to carry that load? My hunch is if you have kids between the ages of 5 and 12 or even 18, my hunch is the answer is no. Because I don't think I have that, right? I don't have a relationship with my kids at the level where if I handed them $500,000, it could sustain the weight, the significance of that benefit. And yet we have fathers that have been building empires and building wealth and building a legacy for their family, spending tens of hours extra a week building up something for their kids, but they're not preparing their kids for the legacy. Some are doing a great job. But my point today is asking the question, if you're spending 80% of your time building up the thing you want to hand them off when it's time to hand it off to them or welcome them into the business or whatever it looks like for you and your family legacy of wealth as a father, what percentage of your time are you spending on building the bridge, on building the relationship that's going to carry the weight of that family legacy, of that financial wealth? If the answer is less than 10% or even 1%, I have a challenge for you today. What does it look like for you to invest time and money into yourself as a dad so you become the dad that shows up super well for your kids day in, day out? All your failures as a dad are becoming less and less, and all of your successes as a dad are becoming more and more. You're actually emotionally regulated. There's no more outbursts or anger that is coming up because you're so stressed about building your business or building up this legacy. The best gift that we can give our kids isn't just some legacy way down the road, decades down the road. The best gift we can give to our kids then and now is ourselves. And if there's a work-life balance that we need to work on, it is this. It is what amount of work, time, finances, whatever it is, am I willing to sacrifice? Because taking that little chunk out of what I'm doing to build a legacy and investing it instead over here in relationship is going to make the bridge that you're building between you and your kids within your family so strong that it don't matter how much wealth, legacy that you come with later on, they're going to be ready for it. But if you just worry about the nest egg or you just worry about the financial piece of it, you will never have a bridge strong enough to carry the weight of that gift from you to your children. And I'm not just saying this because I'm trying to sell you something. I've got friends who are working with people who are retired and have millions upon millions of dollars and have said to me, if you only had your course, your stuff 50 years ago when they started, maybe their kids would be around to want what they're trying to give them. So maybe, you've seen this in your own family. You see this around the block. You see this at the lake. You see this where you see grandparents trying to buy their kids' relationship, trying to buy their kids' attention, trying to say, hey, we want the grandkids around, but only around our certain parameters, or only do this. Hey, come on the surf boat, but don't bring any snacks. Like all the things where there's strict boundaries because the relationship is so fragile that you have to show up differently for your parents, and your kids have to show up differently for your parents or whoever it is, because the relationship is fragile. The onus is on us right now as we're raising our kids to build the relationship that's strong enough to carry the weight of the family legacy. Now, one piece I haven't really touched on is the idea of what does it look like to pass down family legacy that's not about finances, but it's about values and about ideas and about ways of being in the world. The financial weight's one thing that'll break the bridge, but if you don't have a strong enough relationship to then talk about the family values that you have, that also can break the bridge. Or say you have family values hanging on your wall, but you're not living them. That is weakening your bridge. So just like in your professional life, you need to walk the walk, not just talk the talk. It's so easy for us dads to talk, but not do what we say we're going to do. I'm guilty of it myself from time to time. But where's our accountability? Where's our framework, our scaffolding that we've put around us to say what I want to give to my kids, either when I die or when I retire, this family legacy, this legacy of wealth and wisdom, to hand it off to them? Does it matter enough to you that they want it and that your relationship can sustain it? Because if it matters to you that you're working so hard to build this thing, it should matter enough to you to say, today, I am going to invest in myself as a dad. I'm going to invest in the relationships I have at home so that no matter if I have a few $1 million or hundreds of $1 million or billions of dollars, whatever, and the wisdom and the vision and all the values that you want to instill in your kids, if the relationship is not strong enough to carry the weight of your legacy, you will break the bridge. And that's what I want to teach you. That's what I want to empower and equip you with, is the tools that it takes to build the strongest bridges you've ever seen between you and your kids. So not only when they're older, they actually want to be a part of what you're doing and they want to carry that legacy on, but they want to run to you when they screw up. They want to run to you when they have deep questions. They want to have a deep relationship with you when they're teenagers. You want that for your kids? Maybe your kids are already teenagers now. It doesn't mean it's over. It doesn't mean the boat is passed, the ship has sailed. It means it takes intentional time, day in and day out, to show up consistently with your kids, to show up in a way that's predictable to them. You're not just all over the map emotionally and screaming at them one moment and then just apologizing, and it's just a cycle. Do you want to show up for your kids today the way that you hope to show up for them when you're 75? And if that's the case, you got to do some work. You got to put in the work. You got to take some action and be able to change and grow those weak areas of your life. If your bridges are already burning, already weak, already crumbling, let me help you. Let me help you build, rebuild, and make those bridges between you and your kids so strong that no matter what comes, no matter what storm comes, no matter what crisis comes, no matter what goodness comes, that your relationship can be sustained. So here's to you becoming the dad that your kids need, not in years, not in decades, starting today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next episode.